Hello everyone, welcome to Lever Guns 50. Today we're doing a 4570 versus 5110, and the 4570 is on the right, the 5110 is on the left. This is the 5110 1886 Winchester. It has a 26-inch octagon barrel. This is the 4570. It has a 22-inch round barrel, and I wish we had both of them the same length barrel, but we don't. We're going to test these across the chronograph and into some ballistic gelatin and see what they do. Let's get started. 1886 Winchester in 4570. We've got two different loads. This lead load here is a paper patch bullet with black powder, 70 grains. And this one here is a 400 grain jacketed bullet going 2,000 feet a second. We don't know how fast this baby's going. We'll shoot it across the chronograph and see. And so this one here is black powder. So we're going to shoot the black powder one first across the chronograph, see how fast it's going. Then we're going to shoot the jacketed bullet. We know how fast it's going. And see what they do in the ballistic gelatin. So let's set up and get started and see what happens. All right, we're going to load this thing up and shoot it across that chronograph and see what happens. Let's see what she did. That was a lot of smoke. Let's see how fast it was going. So, according to that, it was going 1,195 feet a second. And that was a compressed load. So that bullet come all the way through there, and look at there. There she is. Okay, let's shoot the smokeless powder load and see what it does. All right, we're going to shoot into that ballistic gel with a 400 grain spear bullet. It blew the whole thing away. Well, it's going 2,016 feet a second. It broke the table here. It split a big old chunk out of it. That was screwed down to there. Throwed all these blocks on the ground. This was the second one. And does it have a projectile in it? We're going to have to wash it off. Let me hold it up to the light. Well, I don't see one in it. Knocked all the books off, so hopefully one of the books caught it. We did find that bullet. It weighs 387 grains. It expanded out to just almost an inch. It expanded to 15/16 of an inch. Today we're going to shoot this 1886 Winchester, and it's in 5110 caliber, but we're going to shoot black powder through it today. We're going to use what would have been the original loads, shoot them across the chronograph into the ballistic gel. And what we're going to do is we're going to load these with black powder. Now, a lot of you people are probably going to think that they should just be lead bullets. Well, I've seen several advertisements where Winchester talked about using full patch and half patch or partial patch bullets. And what it was is basically soft point and full metal jacketed bullets. And so we have one, this one here is 450 grain, this one here is 300 grain. The original load was 100 grains of black powder with the 450 grain and 110 grains of powder with the 300 grain bullet. I think it was actually 290 something grain bullet. So, and then just for grins and giggles, we have a 550 grain bullet loaded with about 90 grains of black powder. So we're going to shoot them across the chronograph into this ballistic gel and just see what they do. We're just going to have a little fun and see what the ballistics would have been back in the 1800s. So let's set up, get started, and see what happens. Now when I shoot, I'm going to stand on this concrete block, so you should be able to tell the recoil because there's not a good footing there. And so when I'm shooting into that ballistic gel, standing on that block, you should be able to see if I get rocked back with that recoil. Black powder is supposed to have more recoil than smokeless powder. First we're going to shoot the black powder 300 grain bullet across the chronograph and into that ballistic gelatin. We're going to see how bad this bad boy recoils. How bad this bad boy recoils. Let's check it out. See how fast it was going. So, according to this chronograph, it says that 300 grain bullet was doing 1,837 feet a second. I think the bullet come out the side right here. Let's flop this back around, so we're probably not going to find that 300 grain bullet. Let's look at there. So it come in, did all kinds of mess, come up here, come out. Looks like it nicked the side of them books, and we might find it over there in the bank. We'll look, but let's shoot the 450 grain bullet and see what it does. Look how that bad boy come in, arced up, come across here, come all the way over here and out. Now we're shooting the 450 grain bullet across there. Let's get up here and there goes something. Try to aim this thing as good as we can. Let's go see what it did. 450 grain bullet. Let's see how fast it was going. Okay, 1,460 feet a second. We did hit kind of low. Hopefully, straight line penetration looked like it went all the way through. Come all the way down and hit those books. Let's see if it come all the way through. Didn't come all the way through the book, so let's see where it stopped in there. I think it stopped in the first book. Let's get you set up here so you can see it. I don't think that bullet, there's that bullet right there. Can you see that? 450 grain. That'd be called a full patch bullet. So it went all the way through there and didn't expand. But that was going pretty fast and had quite a bit of power. So next up is a 500 grain bullet, and we're gonna see what it does and how fast it's going. There she is. Well, there she is. 500 grain bullet up next. Let's go see what it did. I have no idea. See how fast it was going too. 550 grain bullet. It is doing 1350 FPS. Let's see. So it looks like that's it right there. There's something in there. Let's look at these books. They ain't got no bullet in them. Let's dig it out of there. You can see that bullet right there. All right, one more 300 grain bullet just to see if we can't catch it in that ballistic gel. So here goes 300 grain bullet. I can't see nothing but smoke. Let's go check it out. Let's see what the velocity was. A little bit slower. It says 1687. And it's gonna be that one there, coming across there, doing the tumble, coming up, coming across. And what? Coming across and what? Right there she is, right there. Right there. Okay, last bullet, 300 grain bullet. Into there, let's see how fast it's going. Let's get this done. Let's get this done. Check it out and see what it did. Okay, hopefully you can see that. 1773. see if she stopped. I'm spiraling down there. Yep. Stopped right there. Let's check it out. Okay, let's get a measurement on that. So that 300 grain bullet, which is right straight in there, looks like it went 45 inches, and the other bullet, which is right there as well, the 550 grain bullet, it looks like it went about 44.5 inches. So let's get those out of there and see what they look like. And obviously this one here went all the way through, and this one here went all the way through and into a book, so it had the most. And this one here went all the way through into a book, so it had a lot as well. And that one, it come out of the side of this block and went out to the wild blue yonder, and we never did find it. There's those bullets. This one here was the lower velocity. It went all the way through. This one here stopped in the books. This one here went all the way through. And this last one here, it stopped the same as this one here. These two stopped the same. These went all the way through. So that's pretty impressive. It gives you an idea how much power the bad boy would have had back in the day. I'll leave the energy levels down below and kind of give us an idea how much energy they would have had. But today we're starting out with a 350 grain hawk bullet at 2,700 plus speed a second, and we're going to see what happens. This should be a show. Look at the wound channel on this thing. You can see where it come in right there. Just look at how that looks. I don't know if you can see that, but where that bullet went in, that right there. Wipe it off here so you can see the side. That is that permanent wound channel, and then you see pieces of lead, and right there is the bullet. Come from the top side, there is the bullet. It made a big wound channel there. It's really kind of pretty. If I can get it to focus there. It's really kind of pretty how that wound channel looks. There's the bullet. We'll measure how far that is. But you can see that bullet turned sideways. Enormous entrance wound. You can see those pieces of lead out there. And you can see those pieces of lead just hanging out there. Raptor 350 grain bullet coming up next. Let's see what she expanded out to. Yep. Inch and 65 thousandths. Okay. This is the 350 grain, and this is a Raptor bullet put out by Cutting Edge. This bullet is a hollow pointed solid brass, and it's supposed to actually break apart and make multiple wound channels. So let's shoot it into this ballistic gel and see what happens. stopped in the first. No, it went all the way through the first one. Actually, we did catch it. We caught it in the last one. I just set this one up here just for the fun of it. But we definitely caught it right there. So it went through two of them in the end. You saw that block jump slap over top of there. And so it wasn't coming, it was coming this direction here. And them petals actually come all the way through and out. You can see some of them actually dug into the wood here on the bottom. Dug into the wood there and there. So, all right, here's how it went through there. As you can see, these little places where the little pieces of brass come out, like this one here, come all the way over to here and exited right there. And there's one right here, come over here and exited right here. And you can see there's one right there come down and exited out there. There's actually one straight in right there. And then you can see this twirls as that wound channel went down through there, went inside of this one, went all the way down, come inside of this one, and the base of it stopped right there. And there is a piece of one of the petals right there. So they come out in all directions. See if you can see how they just ripped apart. And that's a really clean hole in there. That's what that wound channel looks like. Just ripping down through there. Now if you look at how this lead bullet come in there, it has a pretty mean looking wound channel coming this direction. But if you look at that one, it spread out. It created a lot more. It went more than 6 inches because it exited the gel block. So that bullet came all the way down there and stopped there. We'll get a measurement on it and see how far that went. So there we are. It looks like it actually penetrated 39. We go straight up and down about 39, almost a half inch. So that's some pretty good penetration on that one there. You can see that piece of brass in there. Hope y'all enjoyed that. This was a whole lot of fun to do. I'm glad we finally got some ballistic gelatin. Looks like with this big old gun, you really only get one shot a piece. We're gonna melt these down and see what we can do. And we're gonna try out some of those 45 Colt deep curl bullets and see how they do. And I think that was a lot of fun. This right here, that had a lot of penetration. That's a really powerful big game bullet. And I'm gonna leave the velocity for that about right in here because I don't remember what it was. And I appreciate you guys watching. This is not an original. This is made with modern steel. This is capable of 50,000 PSI. And it's a whole lot of fun. Even with this steel butt plate. You notice I shot all the shots with this steel butt plate. And my shoulder, it's not bruised. So anyhow, y'all come back and see us. God bless each and every one of you. Thanks for watching.